You might be wondering, who the fuck is this guy on the camera? Lots changed in the past couple of years, man. The face you're looking at right now hasn't been familiar to me either. I'm not masturbating. I'm just trying to get knots out my hair. Why not both? So I kind of been waiting for been about 3 years now, hiding from any camera until I recognized my reflection again. I think it was just a materialization of my general rejection of what the journey has done to me for the past few years. But I woke up the other day. Yeah, I didn't feel like running anymore. So, uh, hope you don't mind if I spark up a little bit. It's a tobacco pipe with tobacco in it. It's a fucking Gandalf ass habit I picked up recent years. So those of you from my Patreon on my By Ninth Planet page, you're probably gonna be the most confused. You see, I used pics on my thumbnails that were really not more than a few months away from when I started the channel. But as you can see, you see, yeah, I look like a dumpling. Yeah, I got further and further away from that. Those of you who've talked to me on here know that talking to you is my favorite part of this. And I haven't been shy about sharing my weight gain in conversations when the topic has come up, although I still avoided showing myself on camera. I didn't make an official announcement, so it might be a lot of you that don't know about my weight gain. But if I talk to you, shit, like, I think there were times where I damn near just brought it up out of nowhere just so people aren't like feeling catfish and shit. Oh, you feel what I'm saying? You know how in like Alcoholics Anonymous meetings, at least in movies, the first thing you're supposed to do is admit you're an alcoholic. Hello, my name is Bob, and I'm an alcoholic. I guess this is my version of that. Hi, my name is Eric, and I am a depressed, miserable, fat fuck. Nice to meet you. Now, the reason I did the VTuber thing on my music channel was not really entirely based on me being like, at that time, like just like 20 pounds away from my ideal weight. It was also because I wanted to be seen and judged for who I am on the inside first, which quickly dissolved. As I noticed, most people suggested that you should put a face in the thumbnail, so I just put some pics I took recently at that time. I realized multiple people admitted that they subscribe based on liking how those pictures look, which kind of defeated the whole purpose. Like, I don't know. I mean, that was my first time doing content creation, so like, maybe I didn't think my shit all the way through. But it's really important to me, for me to see other people and for me to be seen for who we are on the inside. Because I was always one of the few that looked like me wherever I was at, right? Minus when I lived in California. So I felt like I was always being judged on my looks in one way or another. Too fat, too skinny, too Asian, so on and so forth. And when I met people who just met me, the person inside, that made me feel real good. So that's just something I want to give to other people and try to manufacture that here, which, as I mentioned, I fucked up. You know, when I meet people, like, I notice how they look. You know, I admire God's work of what he did with you. I just try not to have any like unnecessary or unrelated judgments or attractions or unattractions until I meet who you are on the inside first. I dig that. I guess I'm a hippie like that. Additionally, I noticed a lot of people I knew just before the pandemic, and by a lot, I mean like just like a handful. You know, I didn't know like the whole goddamn city, but like a handful, like this much people. They like disapproved of my weight gain. And for whatever reason, related or unrelated, I don't know what it is, we lost our friendship shortly after. The amount of people that still treat me like no different, I could count that on like one hand. So like this many people, once again. Now I'd be concerned if I noticed a friend was getting like rapidly unhealthy, you know? which was my issue. But that would make me want to support them more than avoid association with them. You know, if I didn't want to associate with them anymore, then personally, for me, that would mean that the way they look was part of why I like to keep them around. Now, that was like 5 years ago now. And friendships can drift for many different reasons. So, like, that was just one reason of many. You know, a lot of those friendships came and went for natural causes. So, let me get my thoughts on weight gain right quick. Now, weight, it don't really matter to me. Health matters. So, if you heavier but you healthy, I'm happy for you. Now, if you heavy, thin, fit, like muscular, but you unhealthy on the inside, that wouldn't make me happy for you. You know what I'm saying? Because I love you. So when I say unhealthy, it's not just weight gain, it's how it happened. Now, personally, I'm not a stranger to weight fluctuations. Like, I was active for most of my life, yet my body type was one that naturally holds on to fat. So in the off season, I might be fat, and in the season, I might be skinny as hell. And when I learn how to work out, I might get like muscular and lean. Or if I'm going through a couple years where I'm mad busy with work, I might gain some fat. And then I might prioritize fitness again, and then I might get cut and muscular again. But my weight gain eras in the past have never been this unhealthy in multiple levels. You know, before maybe it was like, you know, I'm not eating as clean, or maybe I was living a more sedentary lifestyle, but I never really went through anything like this before. So the pandemic changed me mentally, physically, spiritually. It did for a lot of us, but for as far as just my life story, I mean, if you know me, you know I've been homeless, I've been stabbed, I've been shot at, but nothing felt close to what the pandemic was for me. I mean, even when I was homeless, I still had like somebody or a community that I could fall back on, have be like home base. No matter where I went, you know, real recognize real, birds of a feather recognize each other, and I never felt like I was alone in the world. But the pandemic made me feel like I was better off dead. Can I say that? Better off back in the lobby screen while everyone else was in the game map. Racism, isolation, and the nature of it led to my not having no community having my back. To kind of share who I am, I was born in 1990. I was always the type of person where if I saw you struggle or a group struggle, it struck a chord with me, and I stood up for them. And back then, it wasn't always cool to do that, especially for women, LGBTQ plus. It probably made your life like way harder to stand up for them. So before it was cool, like that's just how I'm hardwired. That's just what I do. So I've always been someone where like if I see your struggle, I want to speak up for it. And during the pandemic, I always knew Asians had a really tough history. I mean, the most impoverished continent in the world for centuries up until recent decades. Proxy war, slavery, most welfare dependent groups. So knowing that the model minority myth wasn't real and that the real history tells a different story, I always knew they went through shit, but I didn't really know what those things were specifically. Because I didn't really grow up with too many Asians besides my cousins. But when I learned, as per usual, spoke up for them. And how everybody turned their back on me was crazy. Like, oh, you ride with them, that means you don't ride with us anymore type energy. And I'm like, why you even think that way? I mean, I've always been the type to ride for what's righteous, not for just what's right for one group and bad for all the rest of the groups. Like, ain't that what we're fighting against? So, you know what I'm saying? It was a lot of that. And I was fighting a good fight for the first year or two. Then it got to me. I mean, because a lot of violence was involved. Like people literally throwing trash at me outside for looking how I look. Friends who I literally kicked it with, feeling differently about me because, you know, I spoke for Hispanic women, indigenous people, West Africans, Arabs, and now I speak for Asians, and then all of a sudden, that's a bridge too far for them. Which makes me feel funny because I'm Asian. I've been Asian this whole time. Like, you really felt that way about us, bro? And just the lack of rage, seeing these young people and these elderly people get sent to the lobby, how unseriously that was taken, especially relative to what the reality is that's death, bro. That's death, yo. Like, that's serious. Like, that's fucked up, man. And the rage compounded when I looked around me and I was feeling like, am I the only one mad? Now I'm more mad. So that's when I started, yours truly, started to change on the inside. I looked at humans and I despised them. I started to despise people who refuse to defend themselves or people who refuse to only stand up for their in-group. I despise people who preyed on the defenseless. I despise everyone. I looked into myself and I noticed this darkness has never really been there before, and a lot of other ones that I'm not really going to mention here. And I didn't even recognize myself. Then I started to despise myself, which is crazy because just a couple years before, I was like outside my life and inside me, I was like filled with love, joy, a sense of humor. And then I wasn't. And I mourned who I used to be. And I feel like that's something a lot of y'all know what that feels like. I just hated who I am now. And if any of y'all ever struggle with, I don't know if you can say the word, booicide, y'all know that's something that's going to be in there waiting for you for your weakest moment. And usually I'm really good about that. But it's, you know, I'm not talking about texting about it or fantasizing. I'm talking about like, you did it. They had to come and save you. You know, so that was an era where I visited that place again. But you know, I'll keep the specifics private, you know what I'm saying? Like that is a demon for a lot of people, and I don't want to trigger that more than it might have already been triggered, you feel me? But I was saved this time. I didn't have to go to the hospital, you know. Something happened, divine intervention, really, and kind of led me on a trajectory where soon after I started content creation. And here I am now, talking to your ass. More of the story, my mental health was gone. And mental health affects physical health as well, internally and externally. Internally, many of us know the functions and mechanisms that would affect that. But external, I was just more apprehensive to go outside because at a certain point, I had a fear of doing something regrettable the next time I see someone violate me or someone else, which leads to me being much more sedentary, you know, as you see me now sitting. Look at this, bro. Look at this. Yeah, as you see me now sitting, that's how I spent half my goddamn day. And every month I gained like a pound or two until eventually I became what I am now. It's not for like lack of trying to stay in shape, because it does make me feel good to use my body, but it's just the in between the workout shit that's gone. And I'm someone that like, I could work out mad hard, but if I don't have an active in between lifestyle, I'm still going to hold a lot of fat. Also, I don't have complete control over what groceries we got in the house. So sometimes we got sweets and shit that, you know, midnight snack, I might grab that. But half the time I try to eat healthy. But y'all know that if you eat healthy half the time, that's not really gonna make a dent in getting fit. Not past noob gains anyway. But if any of y'all curious about the specifics, let me know. I could put a video out there, but I don't want to put it with this one because this one is supposed to be about resolution or transition. And if I talk about content that's going to feel controversial to some people or triggering, then I want it to be separate so you really know what you're signing up for. You feel me? So I just want to talk about how I want to accept who I am and where I am right now. Because I really don't want to talk too much about the specifics of my experience through the pandemic. But as I reflected on what the story behind my weight gain, I realized it's kind of directly related, as you can probably tell at this point since I explained it. Let me wait for these ambulances to pass, bro. New York City, you know how it is. Shout out to the first responders. So coming back, every time I lift my arms, my double chin gets accentuated. It's so funny. But anyway, coming back to the topic at hand, I want to accept reality as it is and move forward and see what the next chapter is going to be. And I felt like that wasn't going to happen until especially now that I'm trying to be in the public as far as content creation, I felt this conversation was eventually going to have to happen. I was hoping to have been more healthy before, and then I could have been like, look at me before, look at how bad it got, and look at me now. But it's been a year and a half, and time is ticking, so it's just going to be, look at where I used to be. Hi, look at me now. So granted, I still love clean eating. It makes me feel good. Like literally, it makes me feel good. I love using my body. It literally makes me feel good. So I want to tell myself it's okay to be active, even if it's just at home for now. I got a VR headset. Yes, they're used for more than just VR porn, like all kind of fun ass games where you literally use your body, you know what I'm saying, to play the game. And that's always a fun workout. Matter of fact, I had the goofiest morning today. I decided to make everything unnecessarily hard. So I walked around like in a squat like this for, I don't know why. I think I felt like pretending I was like a stone monster mob from a video game. I don't know, but I walked around like that all over to brush my teeth and all that. Thinking that ought to burn some extra calories. 6-pack coming soon. P.S. I have a friend named Tina. Known her for a while. She like damn near my pseudo sister. She is both a PG-13 soulmate, whatever those are called, and someone who I can't stand, affectionately speaking. And she's been blowing up on Twitch lately. And I was on a horn with her one day, and she convinced and inspired me to start streaming again. And that's the moment where I had to reflect on if I want to be on camera or not. That's the moment I realized, I think I'm sick of avoiding the camera. I think I'm going to go ahead and do that shit. Which led me to have to make this video because this is going to go out to Patreon first because y'all been holding me up since the beginning and you guys deserve to see this first. Feel me? And then YouTube, because y'all been holding me up as well, just with likes, comments, sharing your time with me, watching my shit, and then give this glory to Twitch. But I want to make sure y'all seen it first. Unfortunately for you. If you've been disgusted by my face this whole time, blame her, not me. I was minding my business before I talked to her that day. Also, on Twitch, I'm thinking of like doing channel reward points, whatever those are called, where they put in points and the reward is like hydrate or do something silly, do something cute, show your feet. I don't know what it is, but I feel like for me, a lot of that's going to be like do burpees, do pistol squats, so I can kind of combine in a fun way me being on camera and me getting some health back. And when I say get my health back, I don't just mean physical, mental. I want to be more reflective. I want to unpack my triggers, emotional. I want to self-care. I want to have dates with myself, pause, that type shit. And you know how people be playing background music in the beginning of their Twitch? If y'all seen Twitch streams, like while they getting situated, I was thinking like could get my keyboard or this and like just play music for you instead of playing music for you. You feel me? Because they got copyright situations for Twitch. And I used to make music. I make it for fun now. So I was like, I might as well. It might be a fun way to practice finger drumming on the MPC that I showed you. I've never been I've always been a turntablist. You know what I'm saying? But the finger drumming was always my buddy, and then we play together. But I feel like I want to give it a shot. You feel me? And maybe we can even like make songs together. We can name it something, whatever the community decides. You know, we'll see. So, housekeeping shit. I have a few more YouTube videos that I recorded when I was still in my VTuber phase, and they still need to be edited and go up. So, still gonna be some VTube videos from this point forward. But from this point forward, the new shit I record and will be posted after that is probably gonna have this dumpling head talking to you. So I'm hoping to get more healthy at every level, not just physical, as the weeks go by. And I hope y'all can see that. And I hope you can hold me to that as far as like healthy accountability, not vanity accountability. I remember this one ex, man. This is back when I was modeling, which was, you know, the way I look, you probably like when you model 200 years ago, but like, no, it was like a few years ago. So I had an ex back then. We had a shoot and she naturally lean, but I gotta like really eat clean, caloric deficit, and work out hard, like to be on functional failure in the gym, if you know what that means. And I didn't have a 8-pack that day. I had like a 4.5-pack or something. Because my body, you know, naturally isn't that lean. Remember, she looked at me. She told me she hated me. I think because she wanted to be next to someone with ripped abs or something. I don't know. Maybe she was feeling like, yo, you had a few weeks to get ready. But it's like, I am. It's just, we got different body types, man. Like, this shit isn't like simple to me. I'm trying. So that kind of accountability, I hope that you don't give me that kind. I hope you give me the I love you kind, like I want what's best for you kind, you feel me? And I hope you can still ride with me. But if you can't ride with me anymore because you just like how some of my old photos looked and made you feel, I mean it when I say I love you. We're all hardwired differently. And I accept you for who you are, truly. And I'm grateful for any time we shared it all. And you still have my permission to masturbate to my old photos as long as you masturbate to this at least once a month.